Hi, I'm Ken Walls. Welcome to DigiLEAD TV. I appreciate you being here. I am the CEO and the founder of Client Solution Innovations. We're a digital marketing firm. We do web development, search engine optimization. We're marketing and we do conventional marketing, digital marketing, partners with Facebook. We literally help businesses blow up with new leads and in a variety of different ways. So I appreciate being on Grant Cardone TV. This has been such a ride being on here. I love every one of you that watch the show. This week's episode, I'm gonna be talking about how to get leads, getting new clients, keeping clients, and all that stuff. I had a gentleman from the country of Norway reach out to me on Facebook, and he said that the biggest challenge he has, and other creative agencies that he knows, the biggest challenge they have is getting new clients. I don't want to say I'm an expert because I'm always learning, and I'm learning better in new ways every single day. With the advent of social media and the power that social media has, getting new clients and getting new customers it's just changed dramatically. One of the things that I want to talk about here is, how we go about getting new clients. And for me, I started this company back in 07, 08 and had freelanced in the web development world for many years before that. I started in 02 professionally, built my very first website in 1994. So, I've been doing this for quite a long time. And one of the things that has always separated me from competition, not all competition, but from a lot of competition, is my willingness to do whatever it takes to get in front of somebody. And back when I first started this company, I was fresh out of a divorce, and it was a bad divorce, and it left me feeling emotionally drained, and I was definitely financially drained, had $0 to my name. Buddy of mine handed me 20 bucks and told me, get on with my life, here's a loan. And I was like, what the heck am I going to do with $20? And so I took that money, put gas in my car, had a little bit left over for the McDonald's dollar menu, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go make it happen. And that day I went to a suburb of Columbus, and I parked my car, I got out of my car, and I started walking door to door to door to door to every freaking business that I could possibly walk into. I had no fancy sales pitch. I just said, I'm Ken Walls, I do website development. I'd love to help you out with your website if you're in need of any help with your website. And it was literally the very first day that somebody gave me, it wasn't thousands of dollars, in fact it was hundreds of dollars, but somebody gave me a chance to work on their site and tweak some things. And that's where I got my start, was that very first day somebody gave me a $300 down payment to do some work on their website. And I literally finished that up in 24 hours and went back and got the rest of the other $300. So in 24 hours I had made $600, and quite frankly, at that point I don't even know how many doors I'd knocked on. I'm 30 probably, I don't even know, 30, 40, could have been more, could have been less, I don't know, but it seemed like 1,000 because everybody was like, no, no, no. I mean, I didn't even have a business card. I had nothing, And I was like, you know what, no matter what, I'm not giving up. I am not giving up. I'm going to make this happen. And like I said, I run into this guy, and I had known him from the past, but I'm like, dude, I can help you with your website and yada, yada, yada. And he's like, I've been thinking about doing some stuff, and that's where it happened. So, for me, developing new leads, getting new clients, getting new leads, I mean, there's nothing more important in any business, besides keeping the customers that you have. And that's very important as well, making sure that you're servicing, you're providing good service and all of that. But getting new customers, it seems to, for every business I talk to, it's like that's their number one challenge is how do I get in front of more new customers? And there's a handful, there's a variety of ways to do that. But for me, one of the number one ways in my entire career, being an entrepreneur since I was 20 years old, heck, when I was 8 years old, I was out shoveling snow and mowing yards and going door to door and selling those services and then buying, big boxes of gum and reselling that gum at school for a significant markup. And so, it's always been like, if I have a box of gum and I don't walk up to anybody and say, would you like to buy a piece of gum? Your breath stinks, you got to find the pain, right? You got to find the pain and then bring it out and then offer the solution. And so that's what I've always been good at is going out there and no matter what, just saying, hey, this is the problem that you're probably experiencing, right? And waiting on them to answer and then offering that solution to them. So cold calling is unbelievably important. Every single successful person I've ever met in my life, every successful business owner, every successful anything. I mean, Grant Cardone talks about it all the time. He's like, I don't know how you could survive in a business without accepting the fact that you have to do some cold calling. So cold calling is absolutely a humongous thing. It's huge. And it's worked for me for many, many, many years. Everybody's like, well, how do I get more referrals? I just want to sit around and wait on the phone to ring from referrals from all my happy customers. And the problem is they're not sitting around thinking about you all day long. You're sitting around thinking about you all day long. So when I come back, I'm going to tell the story how I met Grant Cardone and got him as a client. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to DigiLEAD TV. Ken Walls, I'm still here with you. I appreciate you sticking it out and hanging in there with me. I want to talk about a little more about how to get new leads, how to get new customers. I've touched on the cold calling thing. I'm not kidding you, over the years, I'll bet you I've interviewed and trained, it's in the hundreds of salespeople, hundreds. And there's only a very small percentage of those people that are incredibly successful in life today. And it's because they learned how to cold call and they learned how to blaze their own path. I mean, literally, you've got to learn how to make your own waves. Too many business owners, too many people are not willing to accept full responsibility for their lives and their businesses. They're sitting around waiting on the phone to ring, waiting on somebody else to make their life happen for them instead of, I don't want to get belligerent about it, but you got to, if you're going to be a baller, you got to be a baller, man. You got to go. You got to go. You got to really hit it. You got to hit it hard, and you got to be willing to do whatever it takes. If that means you cold call for 8 hours a day in the beginning until you start getting that referral and lead flow, then that's what you have to do. You also, big part of it for me is setting the right goals. So if I'm saying, hey, I just, when I first started this business, it was literally just to survive. I mean, I needed to eat, pay my car payment, my insurance payment, pay rent, utilities, the basics in life is all my goals were around, right? And then after I started getting into some of Grant Cardone stuff and I started reading the 10X rule and sell or be sold and getting in Cardone University and really like just diving into everything, I was like, man, I've just lived a mediocre average existence for a long time. And there's a multitude of reasons, life isn't easy. It's not easy for anybody. I'm not walking around in life saying, hey man, I'm the one that's experienced all these troubles and nobody else has. Everybody's got a story. Everybody's had their lumps. Everybody's been through the shit. And you know what? Quite honestly, if you haven't been through the shit, you're going to go through it. That's life, but you got to be willing to get back up and go. So you know, when I started out cold calling, and then I did a great job for those clients, and then I would just bug the crap out of them to get referrals. And there's a great clip of Grant Cardone calling up somebody. I know who it was, a guy named Brad, that he was calling up and said, Brad, who do you know right now that I can call right now that can afford my services, that will pull the trigger on it right now? Who do you know? And oh, he says, I know hundreds of people, man. He's like, who was the first person that came to the top of your mind? Who was that? Who was that, right?
Okay. Now I just called the guy, I asked him, I said, hey man, look, you want me to do well? Yes. You want me to be successful? Yes. Who do you know, who can you give me right now that will buy my product?
Big one.
Okay. Guy gives me a lead, and then I sell him $1,500 worth of books.
But, you know, so Grant goes in for the kill and just pushes and pushes and pushes until he gets a name. And it was a big, big name that he got. So, you know, if you do a good job and you push hard enough, you can start building what's called a power base. You can build a power base of people that are your go-to people, that you know that they're the people that if you call them up right now and say, man, I'm in jail and I need bail money, I need you to come and bail me out. Those are the people that you can call. That's your power base. Those are the people that'll say, yeah, man, call this guy and this guy and this guy, and keep blowing them up. And so I've got clients like that. I've got clients where I can say, hey, look, here's the deal, okay? If you could help me out here, I need some names. I need cash flow, man. I need to get some names and of people I can call and see if I can help them out, and just like I've helped you out and do a good job for them, just like I've done for you. And you know, today I have got a tremendous, and I'm not bragging, I am blessed and I'm very, very grateful. I have a huge power base. I have people that I can call up right now and say, who do you know that I can call right now that needs a website or needs help with their Facebook marketing or their SEO or whatever, and they'll start rattling off names. So when I have downtime, that's what I do, man. I pick up the phone and I start calling, and I call people cold. I called a guy in Alaska a couple of weeks ago, never heard of this guy, right? He came off of a list of 42,000 other names, and I just pulled his name randomly, called the number, and it just so happened to be it was lunchtime. This was the owner of the company, and he answered the phone. Everybody else was out to lunch. So it was a cold call, you know. We haven't gone anywhere with the guy yet, but it was still a point of contact. It's moving the ball, man. Sitting stagnant and not using your power base and being afraid to reach out to people that you don't know. I mean, you got to get past that fear. And the only way to get past that fear is to take massive action like Grant talks about. So, you know, fact finding and finding out everything you can about the person before you call them, that's helpful if you can just learn some stuff about their business and who they are and what they like, and check out their social media, their Facebook, their Twitter, their Instagram, everything, and see, you know, what they do and what they're about. You know, another big thing for me, I'm known on Periscope for being a giver. And I'm known in the real world for being a giver too. I literally live my life to help other people. And, you know, sometimes to a fault probably, but I love to give to other people. I love to do things that are going to significantly impact their life in a positive way. So, you know, one of the things that we do, we use a thing called send out cards, and where you can get online and it's your own handwriting, and you can create these really cool custom cards. You can send out brownies and other gifts and candies and stuff and cookies, and send a personalized card to each client or potential client. I've used that over and over and over, and my buddy Sean Barclow got me set up with that, and I'm telling you what, it's been one of the most, and it's a network marketing thing. For me, it's not about the business side of it, it's about using the system, which is just phenomenal. For $1, you can create a custom card and then put postage on it, and they print it for you, they put it in an envelope, they mail it for you, they do everything. And I mean, it is absolutely a badass system. And people love getting cards in the mail. They love getting cards, they love getting these gifts, and that helps me too with my clients. It helps me, number one, say thank you. I appreciate your business. I genuinely appreciate your business. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, talk about this a little more. Stay with us. Hi, Ken Walls. Welcome back to DigiLEAD TV. Appreciate you hanging in there with us. I'm going to tell the story about Grant Cardone and how I got hooked up with Grant. So, I had a guy I was trying to get trained in sales, because I just didn't have the time. I'm running my business, and so I start looking on YouTube. I find Grant's videos on YouTube, and I'm like, I'd never even heard of him. I'm like, this dude is freaking a baller, man. This is crazy. And so I end up getting some kind of a free trial thing for Cardone University, and get on the phone with them, and man, they closed me. I ended up getting on Cardone University, which was, by the way, at the time, one of the most uncomfortable situations I've ever been in, because it was a huge investment for me at the time. And it's now today, it's the best thing that ever happened for my business. I mean, we got hooked up with that, and there's so much unbelievable content in there. But anyway, so I'm talking to my sales rep over the next couple of months, Todd Straw, who now runs the boiler room for Grant. And I'm saying, dude, Grant needs some help, man. He needs my help. I'm an expert at this stuff. I know exactly how to get him to the top of Google and yada, yada, yada. And he's like, dude, this is going to be hard to get Grant's attention, man. He's busy, and there's millions of people trying to get his attention. Good luck, dude. And so I decided, I have a client that owns a winery, and we can do custom labels on the wine bottles with her. And so I had my designer make up a really cool label with Grant and Elena and the kids, and said the world's favorite 10X family, and put that on this custom made wine, and got 2 bottles made up, and I'm getting ready to ship these via FedEx or UPS or whatever, and they're in this styrofoam packing, and I'm thinking, man, this, I don't know if I feel good about shipping it like this. I mean, you've seen the guys at the UPS or FedEx place, and some of them will just toss the box, and it's like, and I had this picture of Grant opening this up and a bottle of red wine exploding all over him. That, by the way, is not how you want to get somebody's attention. That is not how you get somebody's attention. So I'm like, I don't want to start off with pissing him off by red wine exploding in his face. So my assistant was packing this up. I said, it'd be awesome is if we could just fly this to him and hand deliver it. And I'm like, but I don't have the time to get on a plane right now. And I was slammed with other stuff. And she's like, I'll go. I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah. And so literally I said, all right, I'm going to buy your ticket. You got 2 hours to get home, get packed, get back here, and you're going to be on an airplane 2 hours from now. I just bought your ticket, so you better hustle. Put her up in a hotel down in Miami, and flew her down there that night. And she was waiting in the lobby the next morning when Grant and Elena walked into the building, and he called me up, and he was so blown away, and he's like, dude, this is just totally 10X, man. This is baller. This is awesome. And so that's how I got Grant as a client that day. And the relationship has evolved, and I'm a client of his, he's a client of mine. I mean, and he's a friend. I can honestly say today that the guy is a friend, and I love that guy. But you know what? Had I not taken the chance to put somebody on that airplane, and since then I've been down there several times, but had I not taken the chance of saying, you know what, I'm never going to get, and it was a big gamble. I mean, these weren't expensive bottles of wine by any stretch, but the airfare and the hotel for a couple of days was definitely a big expense, For me at the time, it was $1,200-$1,500 or something like that, and I'm like, that was a lot of money to me back then, and it still is. So, it's like, But I had to take that chance. I had to take that chance. I had to get out of obscurity. And Grant talks about getting out of obscurity a lot. So, you've got to be willing to do, the number one thing to me is give, give, give. Going the extra mile. If that means getting on an airplane and flying to meet somebody that could be a potential prospect or customer of yours, then go do it. Obviously, if what you're selling is, you're only going to make 10 cents on a widget, then getting on an airplane and it's probably not the wisest investment in the world. But if it's something that can pan out for you in the long run, that could turn, you never know where things are going to turn. I have, John Hamlin, one of Grant's best friends, is a client of mine now, and a lot of other great things, all because I made the decision to take a risk, get on the airplane, and get somebody down there to hand deliver a gift to Grant. And it wasn't a manipulation thing. It genuinely, from my heart, was a, hey, thank you for being who you are, man, because you've changed my freaking life. You've changed the life of a lot of people around me and clients and everything. So, you've got to get out of obscurity. You've got to start, everybody wants to have a power base. Everybody wants to have that power base. Everybody wants to be, I can send Grant a text message to his cell phone right now, everybody wants to have that power base, but nobody's willing to invest, man. You got to be willing to invest. I run, we're partners with Facebook. Facebook called me up a couple of years ago and wanted to partner up. We are experts, literally experts at running Facebook campaigns, right? Running advertising Facebook campaigns and doing targeted marketing for our clients on Facebook and helping develop the website so the funnels coming in will actually trickle into leads that are responding to your ads, people that are calling you saying, hey, I want to do business with you, or I want to talk to you about it, or whatever. Those are leads. Those are people that and look, you hear Grant talk about it, Jared Glant talk about it. And everybody else, you've got to skill up. You got to skill up. If you've got leads coming in, if it's one lead a year, you better know what to do with that lead. You better know exactly how to handle it. You better know how to communicate with that customer, and you better know how to go back to that customer and ask for referrals and ask for ways to improve things for them and upsell and talk about other services and products that you offer. You've got to bust out of obscurity. Sitting in front of this camera right now, looking at you, talking to you guys, look, I'm nervous every time I walk into this studio. I'm nervous every time I get on this camera. And I know I screw up, I make mistakes, but I don't care. I don't care anymore. At first I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified. You don't think I was scared to put somebody on an airplane, fly him down to cold call Grant Cardone? It's Grant Cardone. I was terrified. I was like, man, this is a big, big, big investment for me to just sit here and take this big of a chance. It was a big chance, but it's paid off. It's paid off many, 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 many times, way over what I invested in it. So, look, the bottom line is you've got to get out of obscurity. And the only way you're going to get out of obscurity is to get over the fear of getting out of obscurity. If you want more leads, get out of obscurity. Know what you're doing. You've got to know what you're doing with your business. I don't care what it is. If you're, I had Grant on a couple of episodes ago, and he was talking about a plumber and building a celebrity appearance as the plumber or the pillow guy and it was funny. He was talking about how much he really doesn't like the pillow guy, but he wants to buy the guy's pillows. But the pillow guy, the plumber. It doesn't matter what you do or who you are, you've got to bust out of obscurity. Create a celebrity for yourself. Make yourself a celebrity. Get out and meet people. Get to know people. Go do your thing. Get out there. You're not in business to sit around and wait on people to come to you. You're in business to go out there and make it happen. And if you're sitting around waiting on it to happen, Good luck with that. I don't know how that's going to work for you. Maybe it will. I don't know. But every client I've met with, every person I've ever talked to, their biggest thing is always, I want more business. Can you help me get more business? And absolutely, there are great ways that we can help customers and clients get new business. Many, many ways. But you've also got to be willing to say, you know what, on top of all of that, on top of the new website, on top of the SEO campaign, on top of the Facebook ads, I'm going to bust out every other freaking thing that I have. Because you know what, if you're sitting around, it's like the story of the guy that hits the boulder with the sledgehammer, and it was the 900th swing of the hammer that the boulder just shatters, right? Every other swing, it felt like he was just not getting anywhere at all. But it was the 900th swing that finally just shatters the boulder into a million pieces, right? You've got to be willing to put that energy and that effort into it. And if you do that, you're busting yourself out of obscurity. You're going to stop all the bullshit stories you tell yourself. You're going to get out there. You're going to make it happen. And life's going to be much better for you and your business and everybody around you. So, you know, getting new leads, power-based, man. Ask for referrals. Do a great job. Know your business, man. Be the best at what you're doing. If you're the best at what you're doing, referrals are going to come in. You won't even have to ask for them. We get them every single day here. So keep doing that. Be a genius at what you're doing. Bust out of obscurity. Use the tools that are out there. Use Facebook, Periscope, Twitter. Use all of those tools. Get your butt out of obscurity, man. Cold call. Do whatever you have to do. Okay? Listen, I appreciate you guys being on here. We're coming to an end with this week's episode. Again, if you have any questions ever, email me directly, ken@clientsi.com. I'd be happy to talk with you. I just hung up the phone a little bit ago with somebody that literally cold called me that knows me from social media. So, you know, reach out to me, ken@clientsi.com. Call our office, 614-372-7400. Make sure you follow me on Periscope. Follow me on Twitter at CEO_CSI. Thank you for watching DigiLEAD TV. Have an awesome day.